season. It's Aura Frames. The Aura Frame is a great gift because when they take it out of the box, they're already going to love it. And then when they power it on, they're going to see that you've already preloaded it with all sorts of photos that show just why you cherish the person you gave the Aura Frame. And it's easy to go after that. It's so easy to upload unlimited photos and videos to your Aura Frame.
To do that, again, unlimited, just download the Aura app and connect to Wi-Fi. And as we said, you can preload the photos before it even ships, which is amazing. So for a limited time, visit auraframes.com and get $45 off Aura's best-selling Carver Mat frames, named #1 by Wirecutter by using promo code FBHW at checkout. That's AURAFrames.com, promo code FBHW. This exclusive Black Friday Cyber Monday deal is their best of the year.
WENJ HD, Millville, Atlantic City. A Town Square media station serving all of South Jersey.
97.3 ESPN's special Black Friday Birds pregame show, broadcasting live from Sea Isle City's Winter Village, leading you up to Eagles versus Bears here on 97.3 ESPN with host Josh Hennig. Live at Excursion Park, 97.3 ESPN's Black Friday Birds pregame show is presented by Heritage Surf and Sport along with the Sea Isle City Chamber of Commerce. Now broadcasting live from the Winter Village in Sea Isle City, here is Josh Hennig, joined by former NFL players Chris Myers and Dave Klemic.
Josh Hennig live in Sea Isle City at Excursion Park, Black Friday Birds pregame show. Thanks everybody for tuning in, joining us here at the Winter Village. We are live on 97.3 ESPN FM, streaming live on YouTube and X. Thanks everybody for joining us today. Dave, happy Thanksgiving. How you doing today?
Happy Thanksgiving, man. You know, I'm caffeinated, activated from Salty Acres over here.
Nice.
A local spot, makes some really good, made me like a little mixture of hot chocolate and coffee. Amazing.
Well, I got my coffee across the street at Raffas here in Sea Isle. So there's tons of business here in Sea Isle City that are in the tent here at Winter Village. Of course, Dave mentioned Salty Acres. Raffas is right across the street. We are here at Excursion Park, not just for the Eagles game, but for the Winter Village, which is every year here at Excursion Park. tons of vendors over there in the heated tents. They're selling, get all your Christmas shopping started for the holiday season. And, of course, we will talk about the birds in just a bit, Dave, but we'll be joined throughout the show by different sponsors of this great event. Of course, you have all kinds of food vendors here like Mike's Seafood and others. So we are so excited to be here in Sea Isle City for the Winter Village. Of course, tonight, coming up after the Eagles game ends here on 97.3 ESPN, around 6 o'clock, we will have the official tree lighting ceremony. Santa Claus is coming to town, so it's a great day to be out here. And to my left, Shelby and Madison, they have the championship trophy over there. People can go take pictures with it. People can sign up for Flyers tickets. We'll be giving away Flyers tickets away at halftime of the Eagles game, as well as other great prizes. So come on down, hang out with us here at the Winter Village in Sea Isle City. It's a great day. Support the local community, support local vendors in South Jersey. Don't go to the main stores, right? Come down here, get your shopping started with all the great people here at the Winter Village. But Dave, part of the reason why we are here on 97.3 ESPN is because Eagles, Bears, coming up today on 97.3 ESPN. And I know after watching last night's games, right, we all were consumed. I know for you were juggling 40 people at your house yesterday.
Yeah,
I saw that video online.
Some kind of a record.
But, I think what's interesting is that for a lot of Eagle fans, Dave, they watched the games last night, right? They see the shootout between the Lions and the Packers. They see the shootout between the Chiefs and the Cowboys. And you know what they say? Why can't our team do that?
I know. You know what? I think this season has created more educated fans than I've ever seen before. Sometimes they just yell stuff. Oh, you stink, blah, 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 blah. They're actually educating me, and I study this. I watch this very closely for many, many years. And I go, gosh, I'm learning stuff from fans or people that text or call in. And I'm like, yeah, that's a good take. I'm actually impressed. You know how the UFC got really educated fans? They stopped crying when somebody went to the ground because they knew something was getting set up.
Right.
This is what's going on. They're kind of patient and kind of understanding, but they're also starting to analyze it real closely. I think that's because of fantasy football, probably a little bit, and a lot more of frustration of why a team this talented can't produce at the highest level. I don't get it.
Well, part of the problem, Dave, is that, and this is where I'm glad you're here. For those who don't know, Dave Klemic, Kansas City Chiefs, you played with them back in the day. Also, you had the Eastern football records for receiving, catches, scoring. Well, yeah, actually, you're second in scoring to your buddy Miro.
My brother-in-law beat my record.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But still, but as someone who played offense, okay, this is where I want to kind of pick your brain. Because all the experts keep saying that, there's a predictability. Even Lane Johnson said over a month ago, this offense is too predictable. How does a team that won a Super Bowl last year, that's why we got the trophy over there, right? We got the trophy here at the Winter Village in Sea Isle, people can take pictures with. We don't have that trophy unless you win it last year. How on earth do you win a trophy and then all of a sudden your offense is averaging under 10 points a game since the bye week?
I think I have the answer, and I don't want to say I know everything, but just think of it this way. Let's step back. If you saw a bunch of really strong moving parts, but they're not organizing well, they're not producing well, I would look up to who is calling the movements, who is in charge of those movements. And that's where I'm looking at. If you have Saquon Barkley, he's not hurt. If you have A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, Heisman Trophy winner. You guys, we got the parts, the best parts in the NFL, but it's not moving properly. And it's not happening on the defensive side of the ball. Special teams, yeah, we did that fumble last week. But it's the offensive moving parts, and I think the play caller there is the reason for that. That is, to me, about as clear as it can possibly be.
Well, you mentioned the play caller. So Nick Earnshaw is back in the studio at 97.3 ESPN. Can you play the cut from Chris Long talking about how – and Chris Long played for the Eagles, right? The guy's a two-time Super Bowl champion. This is from the Green Lake podcast. Chris Long insinuated – I don't want to put words in his mouth, but he insinuated that Kevin Patullo doesn't know what he's doing. Nick, play that bite.
This team has been built around the offensive line since we won a championship. That team was built around the offensive line. This team has been built around the offensive line. We were talking about who's the main character. The main character has always been the offensive line. And now the main character is not perfect, and they're strained on the passing game. You can talk about the coordinator. I don't know how much of it is quarterback preference. I don't know how much of it is the quarterback or the coordinator just not knowing what the to do.
I mean, that's a guy who played in the league who's basically insinuating that these guys don't know what to do. Like, he's basically saying, Dave, that they don't know what they're doing.
The offensive line doesn't know what they're doing.
But everyone.
Well, here we can debate this kind of all day long. Me and you actually agree on a lot of this. When we talked about this in the moving parts thing, if your running game is that strong and it's not working, and your passing game is that strong, I mean, Jalen Hurts is one of the best deep ball throwers there are in the game. He could throw that ball on a dime from wherever he wants. None of it's working. None. The guy, your superstars aren't catching ball. Like, A.J. Brown is super frustrated. I agree. I just think even if the offensive line was playing terrible, something could be – you could produce somewhere. This is the least producing offense I've ever seen with that talent level. If they don't have that talent level, whatever. But it's a highly talented team, and they're just not producing. I think it's the play caller.
Well, we'll get back to breaking down the Eagles. Getting Eagles, Bears coming up today on 97.3 ESPN. Merrill Reese, Mike Quick calling all the action. And, of course, we are here live at Seattle's Winter Village. And a big reason why we are here today at the Winter Village in Seattle City is up to our next guest. Thanks to Brian Heritage Serpent Sport, for sponsoring us being here at the Winter Village. The Super Bowl trophy is over there. Brian, good to see you. How you doing today?
Good. Good to be here. A little chilly, but
nice, but the
sunny.
sun's out, so it's always a plus. Brian, first of all, thanks again for sponsoring us being out here. Obviously, people know Heritage Serpent Sport for many, many years, being a staple here in South Jersey. Talk to us a little bit, though, for you, what it's being like in Seattle, because some people might remember Heritage over in Ocean City, but Seattle, you guys have been here a long time as well.
Well, we're the originals here. We started in 1962, and we're still here. And we service the whole South Jersey community, and a family operation, and it's continuing right to this day, generation to generation.
What's that? Go ahead, Dave.
I got a heritage story. Can I give you my heritage story? Check this out. I used to go before Under Armour, when they had the Lycra shirts and stuff like that. What did we have? Rash guards. So I played for Northeastern University up in Boston. Guys would wear. We just introduced. Kevin Plank came up and introduced him to all the players that we had. That he was Under Armour, this Lycra stuff, right? Well, I was already wearing a rash guard underneath my uniform, and I said, this stuff is trash. You got to try this stuff. I got it from Heritage. I would get these rash guards, and my teammates used to give me money to come down, pick up rash guards, and my whole team up in Boston would play in Heritage rash guards. That's a kind of a cool story where we brought this whole thing together.
Probably the reason why we couldn't keep them in stock.
Oh, so it's Dave's fault. Got it.
Yeah. I'd buy like 60 of them and bring them back to Northeastern.
Now we know.
And nobody would buy Under Armour because it was trash. You had you guys had the double matted, or it was like double stitched, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that was awesome. I wore that under my uniform all through my NFL career too.
So Heritage Service Sport is literally for sport as well. As Dave just suggested.
Try it, guys. Try it under your uniform. It's awesome.
We've had guys get the half mil and 1 mil vests when it was super cold and wear them underneath their uniforms.
Oh, I go skiing in a full suit. That's how I do it. I'm the warmest guy on the mountain.
Brian, what are your thoughts on the Eagles today against the Bears coming up?
I think they're going to blow them out.
Really?
To be honest with you, I think they're a little pissed. I think they think that the people have lost faith in them, and I think they're going to come smack them down.
Wow.
I like it.
It's called for a blowout.
Yeah, they have a great quarterback. They're Caleb Williams, a highly talented kid. He's going through his bumps and bruises.
I will say there is some validity to what you're saying, Brian, though, because the Bears are without their 3 starting linebackers today. They're without one of their starting cornerbacks, and they're actually bottom 5 in the NFL when it comes to touchdowns allowed. So it's not like they're nowhere as good as some of the defenses the Eagles have played this year. So I don't think you're too off base with that prediction.
No, I think they're gonna show up today. They're gonna make everybody that's doubting them second guess it, realize it, and actually make the people realize where the Cowboys really stand in this division.
Well, Brian, we appreciate you sponsoring us, being out here today. We thank you so much for coming out and joining us. And then I know you brought an item for our prize giveaway at the Eagles halftime show.
I've got gift cards, and
Okay.
I've got some Heritage sweatshirts and the Heritage Eagles long-sleeve T-shirts.
Awesome. Well, folks can come over. They can sign up with Madison and Michelle will be over here to sign up. We'll be doing the giveaway of all those heritage items as well as the Flyers tickets at halftime of the Eagles game today. And, of course, we'll have the game on the speakers here at the Winter Village in Sea City. Brian, thank you so much.
No problem. My pleasure.
It's great to see Brian Heritage Surf and Sport, joining us here on 97.3 ESPN. Dave, you heard Brian. He talked about the idea that, this could be a blowout today. What do you think about that?
I actually agree with him, but what we've seen is that this doesn't happen. We're like, oh yeah, we have the parts. Don't have the organization offensively. So we're going to have to score enough points to beat Caleb Williams in that offense. That's it. That's probably the most obvious thing anybody's ever said, right? How do you beat a team scoring more points than them? But seriously, like, your offense has to, at some point, step up and win a game for us. It's been the D.
I need you to scoot over a little.
Oh, okay. I thought you wanted me to keep talking.
No, I want you to keep talking, but I'm like, I wanted you to move over a little bit.
Keep on that point. Okay.
Live radio here. No. Well, that's usually people accuse me of. Nick Earnshaw, the voice of God, back in the 97.3 ESPN studios. But back to your point, you mentioned before that there's just too much talent on this team. Elaborate that for a minute. There's too much talent on the Eagles in order for them to be playing this way.
Well, we've seen teams with very little talent, like, say, the Patriots with Tom Brady and all his part. He just got guys that weren't even receivers in college. They were guys that played lacrosse in college, and guys, you didn't need it. You had an organization. You had that stuff was working great, so you didn't need very, very talented parts. We have very talented parts, and it's not producing. So where do you look? You got to look up, and that's the thing. Like, I just think from a business standpoint, if I saw, let's say you're selling cars. One car's bad, recall the car, right? So the car's bad.
Right.
All the cars' doors are broke, something in the manufacturer, right? And if they're just not selling at all, then you got to look at the sales. But you see where this is coming from? It's it's coming right from the top. Predictability kills plays. Like, they have something in Kevin Patullo where they're reading his plays or he's being too predictable. I just 100% on me, it's on the OC.
But if I can play devil's advocate here, okay? Dave Klemic joining us here. Josh Hennig hanging out here at the Winter Village in Sea City on 97.3 ESPN for a special Black Friday Birds pregame show. Come on down. You can get a picture with the Birds Championship trophy. Yes, it is made by Tiffany. That is made by the company that makes the Super Bowl trophy. That is a real championship trophy sitting over there. Also at halftime, you'll give away prizes like, for example, Flyers tickets to the Eagles game, as well as items from Heritage Surf and Sport. And I also have a $25 gift card to the restaurants Tropicana in Atlantic City. So we have all those prizes. We'll give away at halftime of the Eagles game, which will be on the speakers. So if you come down to the Winter Village in Seattle, you can hear Mel Reese, Mike Quick calling all the action here in your home for Eagles football in South Jersey, 97.3 ESPN. But I still want to play devil's advocate for a minute. Kevin Patullo has been in the NFL for a long time. He's been coaching around the league for basically 15 years. So is Nick Sirianni. How do you have two people, right, who have been around the league that long? They should know better, right? So is it really them? How does someone work in a job for 15 years, have that type of stability, right? Nick Sirianni is one of the winningest coaches in the NFL right now. And yet they don't understand that their offense is too predictable.
Yeah. There's a difference between IQ and EQ, intelligence quotient and an emotional quotient, right? There's a difference between knowing what plays to call and knowing the situations to call them in. What's the other guy? What's the other defensive coordinator thinking? What is he thinking? And playing that game is something some people just have and some people don't, right? You got to know what other people are thinking. What are they thinking we're going to do right now? And then they're playing it perfectly. So, like, he's predictable. Or as every other OC in the league that stopped us the same? Are they all geniuses? No, our guy is just not doing it. He's not selecting the plays correctly to be kind of like this, you're trying to play a cat and mouse game and he's not doing it.
Explain that more. What do you mean by he's not calling the plays right? Like, do you mean in terms of like, for example, because I know that most NFL teams, I know not every NFL team, but most NFL teams, they plan out the first 20, 25 plays.
Yes.
They script it ahead of time. So you're talking about, like, for example, they started the Cowboys game great, right? But then it was later in the game that they struggled. The Eagles are one of the worst teams in the NFL this year scoring in the second half of games. So are you saying that Patullo can plan the game when he's sitting in the room and nobody's around, but then during game day he can't adjust?
Yeah, or he's not getting compliance from the players. We've heard that too. We've heard that Jalen Hurts is coming out of the huddle and then not using the play that was called in. That has happened as well. So that's not Kevin Patullo's fault.
Freudian slip there.
Yeah, it's not his fault. But what I do think is a problem is when you have the pieces in that of the puzzle that are not fitting together. You're not seeing it. Like, you have to get up close. You need people to explain, like, how much more does need to happen before somebody else starts to say, hey, like, this is every defensive coordinator stopped us.
So here's the exact number. I was doing some research late last night. While the rest of you were sleeping, I was up late doing research for the show today because I know you and Nick Earnshaw woke up this morning and be like, when did Josh send this email? But anyway, so
I did see that. Like, you must have been up late.
So this year, the Philadelphia Eagles are averaging only 8.8 points per game in the second half of games. Contrast that with last year, the Eagles averaged 15 points a game in the second half. That is a touchdown difference in the second half from last year to this year for the Eagles, and they're supposed to be running the same offense. They're supposed to be doing all the same stuff, all the same players pretty much, except for like one guy who's no longer here on offense. Well, are you telling me that Kevin Patullo is really that oblivious and clueless that, like, he can't just take the car and drive it and not crash it?
I mean, if you want to keep doing the same exact thing with 11, 12 different coordinators that are stopping us, okay, it's obvious what that is. Now, do we have maybe some compliance issues? Maybe A.J. Brown's a little frustrated. You know what I thought hurt us last year was when A.J. Brown would complain about not getting the ball. I know you're a big advocate of A.J. Brown, and so am I. But
I am not.
You would say he's complaining, and this is going to make Jalen Hurts not use his progression properly. There's too much pressure on him just to get A.J. Brown the ball, to shut him up, not because he's a guy that makes plays, because he's a guy that complains a lot. That should not be why you deliver the ball to a guy. Also, I don't think he runs great routes. He can't put his foot in the ground and make a stop. Like, he cannot do that.
Well, he's a blunt instrument. We'll get to more of A.J. Brown coming on the other side because I am not pro A.J. Brown. I'm not anti A.J. Brown, but I am tired of A.J. Brown's mouth. I want to see more of his play, less of his mouth. But, I think a lot of people feel the same way. We are live here at the Winter Village in Sea Isle City. Josh Hennig along with former Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver Dave Klemic joining me here on site. You'll hear from different sponsors of today's event throughout the day. Of course, we got the championship trophy over here. You can win Flyers tickets as well as gift certificates to Heritage Surf and Sport. And, of course, the heated tent with all the great vendors in there. I see Mike from Mike's Seafood over here. They're swinging out the food as well. And you got your coffee from Salty Acres over there, right,
Yeah,
Dave?
it was awesome. They did a little chocolate mix, too.
And, of course, across the street, we got Raffis. That's where I got my coffee from. So come on down. We'll keep you fueled. We'll keep you, what do you call it, caffeinated, activated? You are?
Yeah, that actually landed on me. I kept showing up in the – I was get my wings at the locker room, Billy Schweiman. I kept coming in, like, loaded up on coffee so I could wake up and get into it because you got to hit that level. Nick, between Billy, you, and Nick, I don't really get to speak very much. So I have to get really fired up and start screaming over you guys to get any words in. And it's worked.
Well,
so I just kept it going.
Well, guess what? Today's your day because you're talking today. Okay.
Thanks.
We are here at the Winter Village, and we want to thank the great sponsors of the Winter Village for being not just allowing us to be here at 97.3 ESPN, for all of the great attractions, the Christmas tree lighting tonight, Santa coming to town later today, as well as all the great activities today. We want to thank Anthony's of Sea Isle City down there in Townsend's Inlet, as well as Island Breeze Casino up there on the boardwalk, as well as La Finestra and Motomio Restaurants, O'Donnell's Poorhouse, and the OD over there on Landis Avenue. And, of course, Shore Break Results, all some of the great sponsors who are bringing us the Winter Village here in Sea Isle City on 97.3 ESPN. I'm Josh Hennig. He's Dave Klemic. More of our Birds pregame show coming up next on 97.3 ESPN FM, the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City, and streaming live on YouTube and X at 97.3 at Josh Hennig.
It's Sixers basketball tonight on 97.3 ESPN with the voice of the Sixers, Tom McGinnis, calling all the exciting play-by-play action.
Here's Maxey driving the ball, skids to a stop. Here's VJ Edgecombe for three, and it's in! Edgecombe a clutch three!
It's Sixers Nets tonight. Coverage begins at 7:30. It's Sixers basketball all season long on South Jersey's radio home for Philadelphia 76ers basketball. 97.3 ESPN.
With GMF financing, qualified buyers excludes Traverse and Corvette excludes prior sales.
It's Bennett Chevy's Black Friday sale, now through the end of the month, offering our best deals ever. New Chevys up to 20% off the sticker. Yes, new Chevys now with the true GM supplier employee price, and you keep all the rebates. That's up to 20% off. And there's available 0% financing during Bennett's Black Friday sale. New Chevys at GM supplier employee pricing. Plus, you keep all the rebates, saving you up to 20%. So, I'll ask you, who beats Bennett Chevy? Nobody. Shopping for pre-owned? At Bennett, you get a minimum 10 grand for your junk, no matter how beat up it is. Even if it doesn't run, you get a minimum $10,000 towards any pre-owned in stock. Come see how much more Bennett will pay for a good trade. Plus, there's never any sales pressure with our non-commissioned sales staff. Paid on your satisfaction. It's Black Friday all month at Bennett Chevy. Together, let's drive. Bennett Chevy, Egg Harbor Township, and BennettChevy.com.
With Black Friday savings at the Home Depot, you can get up to $1,400 off, plus get free delivery on select appliances like LG, America's most reliable line of appliances. Check out the newest LG refrigerator with new mini craft ice, straight from the dispenser. Shop Black Friday savings on select LG appliances, plus get free delivery now at the Home Depot. Free delivery on appliance purchases of $396 or more. Offer valid 11/5 through 12/3. U.S. only. See store or online for details.
If a Lenovo computer for your business is on your holiday list, don't shop around. Just go directly to the source, Lenovo.com. You'll find exclusive deals on the PCs you want for your business, like the ThinkPad X9 14 Aura Edition and Yoga 7i 2-in-1. So avoid all that shopping chaos and price comparing, and just go directly to the source, Lenovo.com, where PCs are up to 50% off. That's Lenovo.com.
Lenovo. Go for holiday bliss. Whether naughty or nice, you are not going to want to miss this. Go for nights that shine with friends, a toast so fine. Go to find Santa's place. Go to see that smiling face. Go to give the gift of cheer with the card that brings dreams near. With endless fun and things to do, it is the gift that keeps on giving too. Go for the dazzling lights. It's quite a sight. Go to Ocean Casino Resort for holiday magic of every sort.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZQL Ultra, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZQL Ultra helps Mike fall asleep fast, stay asleep longer, and get the deeply restorative sleep he needs, so he can wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this Monday.
ZQL Ultra. Not for colds, just for sleep. Really great sleep. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
The Thanksgiving savings rush is on during Happy Honda Days at Boardwalk Honda. Proud sponsor of the Eagles Radio Network on 97.3 ESPN. Get the new 2026 Honda HR-V LX all-wheel drive for just $259 a month, or the 2026 Honda Civic LX full-wheel drive for $219 a month. But don't wait to feast on Thanksgiving savings. Offers end November 30th at Boardwalk Honda. Go Birds! 36-month lease, 10,000 miles per year, $29.85 due at signing. Must lease through Honda Financial Services. Excludes tax, title, and dock fee. Not all will qualify. See dealer for details.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
For over 135 years, First Bank of Sea Isle City has proudly served Cape May County with a commitment to maintaining a hometown feel. We provide secure, convenient deposit and loan products every day. We're more than just a bank. We're a trusted community partner, offering personalized banking solutions that make life easier for local families of all ages. First Bank of Sea Isle City. Look for our lighthouse in your neighborhood and discover what makes us different.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to 97.3 ESPN's Black Friday Birds pregame show, presented by Heritage Surf and Sport, along with the Sea Isle City Chamber of Commerce. Now broadcasting live from Sea Isle City's Winter Village, here's Josh Hennig.
Josh Hennig back here at the Winter Village in Sea Isle City as we were leading you up to the Eagles versus Bears today on 97.3 ESPN, along with Dave Klemic on site. And we have one of the sponsors of today's Winter Village. It's Eric from Edward Jones Investments. Eric, how you doing today?
Good, man. How you guys doing?
We're doing good. So, obviously you're an Eagles fan. I see you wearing the jersey. What jersey is that, by the way?
It's a Westbrook jersey.
Nice.
I brought it back old school today.
Well, you see you're wearing the blackout because it's a blackout today for the Eagles game up there at the link. So, but we appreciate you sponsoring the Winter Village here in Sea Isle City. It's an amazing event every year. Tell folks a little bit about Edward Jones Investments.
So we, a full-service brokerage firm. I'm a certified financial planner. We're 4314 Park Road, right next to Mike and Marie's Seafood. We do everything from retirement planning, education savings, life insurance. So, full service firm.
So now we got to ask you:
Yeah,
are the Eagles going to win today?
They're going to win, I think. I think they're going to be. Hopefully, the ground game gets going, and if Saquon starts pounding the ball a little bit, I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. The win's going to be an issue. I'm calling 17-10.
17-10. Now we had Brian Heritage on earlier.
Yeah.
He thinks it's going to be a Eagles blowout.
Okay, I hope so. I hope so.
Well, you think it's a little ambitious on his part?
Maybe. I mean, listen, a win's a win, man. I do get the W. I don't care how we get it, but we need a rebound after last week's fiasco for sure.
So when you think about this Eagles season, right, because we were talking about before you came on about the issues with the offense, if you had to go on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being like, the end of the world as we know it, 1 being everything's going to be fine and relaxed, how worried are you about the Eagles offense?
I'm not worried. I mean, look, it's Philadelphia, right? We it's the end of the world when we have one bad game. I think that they're a pretty resilient team. They find a way to win. Last week was a little bit of a struggle, but I think they'll get it together. They'll start clicking at the right time.
Again, tell folks again where Edward Jones Investments is located here in Seattle.
Yeah, so my office is 4314 Park Road, right on Fish Alley, as people know it.
Yep.
Been there since 2018, and it's great to get back to the community. Great to be here.
By the way, you're on Park Road, so can you see the in-process building of the community center from your office?
Yeah, it's been some great ambiance, to say the least. Parking's been a little bit of a challenge, but it's great. It's good for the community. It's really good.
So Dave's not a Sea Isle guy like I am. But the Sea Isle Public School used to be on Park Road for decades, and then no one goes to school anymore because they just send all the kids to Ocean City now. They tore down the school, Dave, and now they're building this massive community center.
Massive.
And it's like every time I drive down Park Road, it's like a new thing is up.
I heard about this community center. It's going to be like awesome.
Yeah.
Really
golf
awesome.
simulator is going to be in there. It's going to be fun.
So you're watching it in progress.
I am. It's going to be hard to get any work done once it opens up, and we have to get down there.
Or it might be good for business.
It might be. Yeah.
Because people might be driving by Edward Jones Investment and be like, oh, that guy.
That's the hope.
Yeah,
that's the hope.
Eric, thanks for joining us.
Appreciate you guys. Thanks for being here.
Thanks.
Awesome stuff. Josh Hennig, Dave Klemic, live here at the Winter Village in Sea Isle City as we are hanging out with you leading up to the Eagles-Bears game here on 97.3 ESPN. And, it's funny because we have one person who called for, Dave, a blowout. Another person called for a low-scoring game. Where are you leaning?
I'm leaning more towards the low-scoring game.
Okay.
Our defense is playing great. Our offense is anemic. That's what I believe. By the way, little Westbrook story I have personally.
You do have a Westbrook story personally.
Well, we played each other 4 times in college, and he actually redshirted. He had a medical redshirt, so he actually played 5 years of college. Okay, he hurt his ACL, I think, ice skating or on ice somewhere. I think that's the story. But my sophomore year, we played at Northeastern, and I scored 3 touchdowns in the second quarter and a 2-point conversion, still an NCAA record for points scored receiving in a quarter. And we beat Villanova for the first and only time I ever did. And Yeah, and I played Westbrook. He was awesome, man. He was always a guy. He was a guy that would make first team all conference, and they would put me second. Because not only did he have 1,000 yards receiving, but he'd have 1,000 yards rushing, and then a whole bunch of special teams touchdowns. Like, hey, sorry, we got to give it to Brian. I'm like, okay, that's fine.
So really quick, Brian Westbrook on a scale of all, because you play with Tony Gonzalez in Kansas City. You've seen either played against or played with a lot of crazy good players, right? So where does Brian Westbrook then rank of the players that you've either played against or been around?
Brian Westbrook, I've always thought, like, whenever I see somebody wearing a 36, I get hyped. It gives me like chills because I remember him showing up. He went to DeMatha in high school in Maryland,
right?
And if you're going to Villanova, it doesn't mean means you're not a huge recruit. And then what you do at that time, how you grow in college, is where he ended up. And he won the Heisman Trophy of 1AA football, called the Walter Payton Award. When I saw him, the versatility that he had in in college, transfer to the NFL, I was like, I don't know if he's going to be able to do that type of thing in the NFL. Linebackers are too fast for him to, and he becomes the prototype of what we want right now. He was like basically Eagles version of Marshall Faulk. He could do both. Christian McCaffrey. That's what he was. Wasn't the best runner, wasn't the best receiver, but he did both, and that made him very, very dangerous. So I think he's in the top 3 players I've ever been around in my life. And we played against each other when we played the Eagles back in 2001.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We have another one of the folks who are sponsoring today's great event. Of course, it's Island Breeze Casino. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name before you came up here. What's your name?
Ryan Kiska.
Ryan, appreciate you joining us today. First of all, thank you for sponsoring the Winter Village here in Sea Isle City. Tell folks a little bit about the casino on the boardwalk, the arcade.
Yeah, so it's Island Breeze and Boardwalk Casino, both the arcades on the Sea Isle Boardwalk, and just happy to be here today. It's a great event for the kids, and that's what we're all about. So. Just happy to be a part of it.
Well, thanks to you, we have this very cool ride over here. It's basically 100 feet from where I'm sitting right now. I feel like I've seen kids on that ride pretty much like every second of the day so far. So, that's obviously been a huge hit. For those who don't know, the arcades and the boardwalk have been there in Sea Isle City for decades this way. I know when I used to live on 42nd Street in Sea Isle, it was literally just you walk up the street, go up to the arcade. What has it been like maintaining arcades in a town that's got like such a, you have that flux of people coming in and out of town, right? The summer people and then the weekend people in the off season.
Yeah, so believe it or not, it's our 50th anniversary this year at Boardwalk Casino, and we're heading to 20 in Island Breeze.
Nice.
To answer your question, it's a year-round. It's definitely like a year-round
endeavor.
Endeavor for sure. We start planning now for next season, and it's all on. Once Memorial Day hits, there's countdowns already. It's all hands on deck for 100 days, and you just have to keep that smile on and keep going.
So now I feel old because if the 42nd Street arcade is 50 years old, that means it's 10 years older than me. So I don't know how I feel about that.
Let's just be clear. This isn't a kids' casino. They're not playing roulette.
No, it's just it's just called that. It's an arcade for all family-friendly arcade.
That's great.
Up there. It's been there forever. And you said the one over at the Spinnaker complex has been there, 20-some years?
It'll be our 20th anniversary this
year.
Yeah.
Very cool. So, but again, it's another one of the many reasons why Sea Isle City is a family-friendly destination, because you have those kind of arcades on the boardwalk open throughout the year, so people can have something to do, whether it's in season or off season.
Yeah.
So you got a prediction for the Eagles game today?
Of course. Go Birds. Come on now.
Well, you say come on now, but it's like, we've gotten two very different scores so far from people. Brian Herod just says it's a blowout. Eric from Edward Jones Investments thinks it's going to be a low-scoring, close game. What do you think?
I definitely think we're due for a makeup game. It was a rough loss last week, so I definitely think we're going to have a commanding victory this week. So
score prediction?
35-10.
Oh yeah!
Wow!
Nice.
So
okay, you're in Heritage.
So you and Brian Heritage are kind of on the same wavelength there. You guys are thinking this is going to be a smash.
We need it. It was a disappointment.
Oh, I didn't say we didn't need it. I'm just thinking about how this team has struggled offensively since the bye week. So I've been trying to
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying it can't happen. I mean, the Bears don't have a very good defense. They're without 3 of their starting linebackers and a starting corner today. So, I mean, it can be done, but it's like, will it be done is the question.
I think it's time to unleash Saquon. I know the offensive line has been struggling a little bit, but I think it's time that he takes over a game like last year.
One of the ways we talked about this, and one of the ways that so I was saying how educated the Eagles fans are getting because of the struggles of the Eagles this year and their offense. One of the ways that so this is a little like sports science-y, but this is what I do. If you get the ball, when we go to shotgun, he hands the ball to Saquon Barkley moving 0 miles per hour. Then he picks a hole and then goes. Now the guys the defense have been sitting home and they're not bum rushing to get to Jalen Hurts in the pass rush. They're kind of staying home. Now they can arm tackle Saquon Barkley when he's not moving fast. But when he goes under center and he gets the ball moving 7, 8, 9 miles per hour, you can't arm tackle not Saquon Barkley. You cannot. So I think we go under center and we just let him rip down the field. Josh was saying they run him only in A gaps, right? Just let him go to the run to the outside and get in space and be moving fast. Also, make defensive backs tackle Saquon Barkley, right? Throw him the ball in the flats all the time. They do not want to be tacklers, especially the quads of Saquon Barkley. So that's my way. I think that's how we do it, and you get a score like 35-10.
By the way, Andrew Summers Points texting into the text board at 609-403-0973. He says, shout out to the Seattle arcades who have lasted longer than many of the arcades on some of the other towns in South Jersey. So that's a listener saying kudos to you guys. Not going to name that he actually named the business. I'll let you look at it. But we won't see the name of the business on the radio. But yes, but yeah, no, it is a credit to you guys. 50 years on 42nd Street, now 20 years over at the Spinnaker Complex. That is an accomplishment, absolutely. So Ryan, keep up the great work up there on the boardwalk, and of course we thank you for sponsoring the Winter Village here in Seattle City.
Absolutely, of course. Thanks for having me.
Thanks.
Absolutely. Josh Hennig, Dave Klemic hanging out with you here on 97.3 ESPN. And, of course, Nick Earnshaw back in the 97.3 ESPN studios. We'll get to more of your text messages in just a bit at 609-403-0973. I do love the person. Mike in EHT texted in, Dave. He gave a shout-out to Nick Earnshaw for working today. So.
Oh, I know that, Mike.
You know that guy?
Yeah, I know that guy.
You know that guy?
What? How about these guys? They try to trick me on the air and say they were both sick, and they're both sick, and I had to intro Billy's show, and I was like, okay, you guys seem fine like 2 seconds ago. Now you're all of a sudden you both have some kind of disease or whatever. What happened? And they're like, yeah, you got to intro the show, and I'm like, all right, I'll do my best. I'm gonna get you back, Nick.
You hear that, Nick? We'll see about that. Well, let's get it back to the Eagles because, one person who had some very interesting comments to say this week about the Philadelphia Eagles, someone that Seattle City knows and loves very much because of his event here at the Ocean Drive every year, is Jason Kelsey. Of course, he has actually a house here in town. He vacations here in Seattle, but he has that great Team 62 fundraiser event at the OD every summer. He loves going to Mike's Seafood over there on Park Road. But Kelsey made a very interesting comment this week about the Eagles and their offense. Nick, if you can cue that up, because I think the comment that Kelsey made is very pertinent because I think it kind of gives us an idea that, we've been talking a lot about the offensive coordinator, right? We're talking about complaining about who the OC is, the job he's doing. But Jason Kelsey points to another issue with the Eagles that might actually be more of a problem than the play caller. Nick, go ahead and play that by. This is from Monday Night Countdown earlier this week on ESPN.
You go back and turn the tape, the rundowns, the way they were moving the front, they weren't just lined up playing the five in front. They were slanting those guys up. They were working back over top of blocks. And, this has been something that's hurt this offense all year. They've been a top 10 rushing unit as an offense the Eagles have since Jalen Hurts has been a star. Right. This year is the first year where they have really struggled to run the football. A lot of it comes down to being banged up and not being a cohesive unit that they have been and healthy in the past. But it is crippling this offense right now.
How much do you think, Dave, is the issues in the offensive line, as Kelsey mentioned, crippling their ability to run the offense in a functional manner.
Yeah, no, between Lane Johnson and Jordan Mailata, we have two of the most talented, and Jason Kelsey was there for years. I mean, we've had Cam Jurgens. We got some struggles in the offensive line, but I still think you can hold a block enough for these guys who are very talented. I'm not saying I know more than Jason Kelsey. I definitely don't. But what I'm saying is he probably is willing to take the blame as a player more. You blame the player. He doesn't want to go on publicly and say something about Kevin Patullo. I think he's doing the company man thing. You know what I mean?
Well, you just said something interesting. It seems like nobody wants to blame him. You know, we heard before the season, Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, what's his name on the offensive line? Landon Dickerson. Everyone loves Kevin Patullo. They all like the guy. He's very friendly. Everybody likes working with him. He's been on the team since Nick Sirianni got here. Is that maybe part of the problem? Is part of the problem that the guy is too likable that everyone's afraid to criticize him?
Yeah, I do. I actually do. Like, sometimes you have a guy that you're like, you love him so much, but he gets away with stuff, all right? This happens all the time. And you could go, well, gosh, the guy, he works really hard. Well, the offensive coordinator, it's just like playing cards. You need to know, like, you just got to be good at predicting and stuff like that. It really, if you don't have to, seriously, scripting plays and everything in the beginning, 15 plays, that's where you go. You mentioned this before. Every team that I've ever known or coordinator that I know a bunch of coaches now, they always script the first 15 plays. 100%, you know exactly what you're playing in down and distance. This is what we're gonna do, and then second half you make those adjustments, right? Just like you would go first half, you're gonna do this. All right, we're gonna run a bunch of outs. And then the second half we run a bunch of out and ups. They bite on the out, then you go up, right? Well, in the second half, if we can't produce something in the first half where we are producing a little bit, we can't do it in the second half. These are decision making. These are things that you did up top. It's not the players, honestly. Like it's very obvious to me being a player, and I'm not an Eagle. So Jason Kelsey's doing the company. He's doing the company man thing, and he's just taking the blame. But I do think this comes from the play calling.
He's Dave Klemic, former KC Chiefs wide receiver. I'm Josh Hennig, 97.3 ESPN's Birds pregame show live from the Winter Village in Sea Isle City. And, of course, we want to thank some of the great sponsors who are bringing us here. Of course, we are presenting with the Birds Championship Trophy over there is thanks to Heritage Serpent Sport and the Sea Isle Chamber of Commerce. If you want to win Flyers tickets, you want to win swag from Heritage Serpent Sport and gift cards, or if you want to win a $25 gift certificate to the restaurants at Tropicana in Atlantic City, go say hi to Madison and Shelby over there under the 97.3 ESPN 10 and get your picture taken with the Birds Championship Trophy. And, of course, some of the great sponsors of the Winter Village today here as we are live in Sea Isle City today and tomorrow is the Winter Village. Don't forget, they are still here tomorrow as well if you can't make it down here on Black Friday. But we are here thanks to First Bank of Sea Isle City. Compass Larrick's Real Estate. You know, Larrick's was my family's landlord 15 years here when we used to live here in Sea Isle City. That's over there on Landis Avenue. Also, some of the other great sponsors of the Winter Village, as well as Henry's Bar and Brackus Cafe, which is right across the street over there. JF Builders, Meant to Be Home, Rafa's Sea Isle City, Sea Isle Times, Seashore Team of Long and Foster, along with Thomas Beckhold, Architecture and Engineering, Tortuga Men's Store, as well as the Yacht Club of Sea Isle City. We'll check on the text board as well. Everyone listening on 97.3 ESPN FM, the 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City, and streaming live on YouTube and X at Josh Hennig at 97.3 ESPN.
This is the radio home for Philadelphia Eagles football. The Eagles continue the 2025 season later today, hosting the Chicago Bears.
Love what this defense is doing to the Bears offense. The defense for the Eagles, they're all over them.
Pre-game coverage starts at 2 p.m. with Merrill Reese and Mike Quick calling all the action starting at 3 p.m. This is where the Eagles play. 97.3 ESPN, South Jersey's Eagles station.
If you're in the market for a pre-owned vehicle, you cannot afford to miss the Black Friday used car liquidation sale, Friday and Saturday only at Automotive Avenues in Wall Township and Sewell, New Jersey. Take advantage of over $1 million in price drops, but for only 2 days and only at Automotive Avenues, New Jersey's highest volume used car dealership, this Friday and Saturday. Get there early and don't miss out. Visit Automotive Avenues of Wall or Automotive Avenues of Sewell or online at AutoAvNJ.com.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now at Mattress Firm, save up to $500 on Tempur-Pedic, plus get a $300 instant gift. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Black Friday savings are here at the Home Depot, which means it's time to add new cordless power to your collection. Right now, when you buy a select battery kit from one of our top brands like Ryobi or Milwaukee, you'll get a select tool from that same brand for free. Click into one of our best deals of the season and stock up on tools for all your upcoming projects. Get Black Friday savings happening now at the Home Depot. Limit 1 per transaction. Exclusions apply. Full eligible tool list in-store and online.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
With GMF financing, qualified buyers excludes Traverse and Corvette excludes prior sales.
It's Bennett Chevy's Black Friday sale, now through the end of the month, offering our best deals ever. New Chevys up to 20% off the sticker. Yes, new Chevys now with the true GM supplier employee price, and you keep all the rebates. That's up to 20% off. And there's available 0% financing during Bennett's Black Friday sale. New Chevys at GM supplier employee pricing. Plus, you keep all the rebates, saving you up to 20%. So, I'll ask you, who beats Bennett Chevy? Nobody. Shopping for pre-owned? At Bennett, you get a minimum 10 grand for your junk, no matter how beat up it is. Even if it doesn't run, you get a minimum $10,000 towards any pre-owned in stock. Come see how much more Bennett will pay for a good trade. Plus, there's never any sales pressure with our non-commissioned sales staff. Paid on your satisfaction. It's Black Friday all month at Bennett Chevy. Together, let's drive. Bennett Chevy, Egg Harbor Township, and BennettChevy.com.
Caesars Sportsbook app is the only sportsbook app with Caesars rewards. Bet on gridiron action and earn perks on every game like hotel stays, bonus bets, game tickets, and more. Download the app using promo code RADIO20X and place your first bet of $1 or more for a chance to double your winnings on your next 20 bets. Open to new users in New Jersey who are 21 or older. Max bet of $25 for boosted winnings. Max additional winnings $2,500 per bet. Profit boost tokens expire 14 days after receipt. See Caesars.com/promos for full terms. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
You're listening to 97.3 ESPN's Black Friday Birds pregame show, presented by Heritage Surf and Sport, along with the Sea Isle City Chamber of Commerce. Now broadcasting live from Sea Isle City's Winter Village, here's Josh Hennig.
Josh Hennig along with former Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver Dave Klemic joining us here on 97.3 ESPN. Yes, we are live here at the Winter Village in Sea Isle City. You folks can come on down and get your picture taken with the Birds Championship Trophy, along with at halftime of the Eagles game, we'll be giving away Flyers tickets along with swag and gift certificates from Heritage Surf and Sport. And, of course, we will have the Eagles game, Eagles-Bears, here on your home for Eagles football in South Jersey, 97.3 ESPN. Broadcasting live here. We are on the stage at Excursion Park. And don't forget, tonight is going to be the lighting of the Christmas tree, the official start of the holiday season here in Sea Isle City.
That's so exciting. Just like everybody shows up. In every town this happens, but what cooler than a beach town, you know what I mean? Where you're seeing this setup is perfect. And you know what? I didn't even know that this existed before today.
Now you do.
I'll be here every time now. This is amazing.
Yeah, you got to come back.
Tomorrow's a big day too, right?
Yes, it'll be open all day tomorrow. Tomorrow all the vendors will still be here, as well as the people in the heated tent. The heated tent is actually they're spoiled because we're out here in the elements. Myself, Madison, Shelby, we were here early this morning. Your special day, you get the show here up at 11:30.
It's not that bad right here.
We got the sun beating right on us, which helps. So, also, we do want to thank some of the other great sponsors of the Winter Village this year. Birdcage, that's your guy Wes over there.
Yeah.
Over here on Pleasure Avenue, as well as Christopher Williamson of Gold Coast South Beach International Realty, along with the Italian American Club. Mike Molinsky of Fox Rothschild Law, as well as MJ Builders and Shore Title are some of the sponsors here of the Winter Village here in Sea Isle City. And, of course, our pregame show being brought to you by Heritage Surf and Sport, along with the Sea Isle City Chamber of Commerce. So we mentioned before the break, Dave, about, it's kind of turning into the blame game, right? We're turning a lot of the blame game about who's at fault for this team, a team that is averaging a touchdown less this year than they did last year in the second half, a team who has only scored 15 points a game since the bye week, which in and of itself is weird, right? Don't you supposed to get better during the bye week, not worse?
Sometimes the next week out of the bye, you're not used to how the game is so fast. Even you cannot think practice is even anything like the real game. We would have to simulate, high speed movements. That's only out of the bye week, like where we're at full go. That's the only time during the season I remember going live. Like, we're really hitting each other because you had to start to get used to that, hearing the crowd again. They had these speakers that we put on the field, and we would blare them as loud as the decibel level of Arrowhead, right? So it's very loud. And they're trying to recreate that excitement so you don't have that type of a drag, that slow coming in right out of the break. It shouldn't have anything to do with your decisions for the rest of the season, but people make adjustments to you. They have more time to prepare for you, or you have more time to prepare for somebody else. I'm shocked that we have this phenomenal defense right now and this poor playing offense, which you can't really – if we had a mid-level offense, we're winning every game. We're undefeated right now. We're losing games because of our offense.
Right. Well, you're losing the game because when you have 2 times this year, you've had a significant lead – and then you keep turning the ball over, right? And obviously, I'm not vacating the defense altogether. The defense does deserve some blame. By the way, we do have a listener who is listening to the show. He wants to wish you, Dave Klemic, and everybody listening on 97.3 ESPN a happy Thanksgiving and a happy Black Friday. It's Mike Gill from the Sports Passions tuning in to the show today. So shout out to Mike Gill. He was calling the Holy Spirit Atlantic City Thanksgiving Day game yesterday morning. So he's had a busy week himself.
Yeah, he's the man around here, man. You got all props to Mike Gill, man. What he's done down here, and he really put us on the map, I think, on the radio waves. And I played high school football with him. I just admire what he's done and how hard he's worked to make the interviews that he gets. Like, he's got big-time interviews, like, all the time. He's got relationships all over the place. We're lucky to have him down here in South Jersey, Mike. Happy Thanksgiving, homie.
With the Weird text messages coming up on the other side, the next hour, 609-403-0973 is the text board. We also hear from more of the great sponsors who are part of the Winter Village here in Sea Isle City. Come on down. The sun is beating in my face, so I can tell you it's not as cold as you think it is out here. I got the sun blasted. I got no sunglasses today. It's a bad job by me. But,
yeah, sure.
Well, listen, I was trying to remember everything else. Madison and Shelby were making fun of me because they were like, you remembered everything except your phone charger and my sunglasses.
We'll get a weird sun tan today.
Right, exactly.
Like with it cut off on your head, not your glasses.
And, of course, as I say, the cloud jumps right in front of in front of the sun. But come on down. You guys can come and hang out. They got great food vendors here for like Mike's Seafood, as well as Salty Acres over here next to us. In the tent, they got all kinds of great vendors as well. You can get your holiday shopping started here in Sea Isle City. Listen, it's Black Friday. Don't go to the main stores. Come down here, hang out. We got the Birds game. It'll be on the speakers. Mel Reese, Mike Quick calling all the action here in the home for Eagles football in South Jersey, 97.3 ESPN. And don't forget, the Winter Village great sponsors include Anthony's of Sea Isle City down there in town, Zinlet Island Breeze Casino, La Finestra and Amoto Mio restaurants here in Sea Isle City, O'Donnell's Poorhouse, and the famous Ocean Drive, as well as Shore Break Resorts. Josh Hennig along with Dave Klemic. We are hanging out with you for a Black Friday here with Excursion Park in Sea Isle City on 97.3 ESPN FM, the 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City, and streaming live on YouTube and X at Josh Hennig at 973 ESPN.
Hey, it's Mike Gill. Join the Sports Bash every Monday live at the Fanatic Sportsbook in the gallery at Ocean Casino Resort. Get your game on with the elevated bar and lounge, 12 slot machines, blackjack, roulette, and a dedicated area with 4 betting windows and 11 kiosks. The ultimate sportsbook experience. Go where fans become fanatics. The Fanatic Sportsbook in the gallery at Ocean Casino Resort. And join the Sports Bash live from 2 to 6 with me, Mike Gill, every Monday.
Kohl's Black Friday deals are here. Grab your coffee and put on your sneakers because it's go time. Through Saturday, save up to 50% on everything from toys to beauty faves, winter styles, and more. Plus, earn $15 Kohl's Cash for every $50 spent. Yep, that's extra Kohl's Cash. So run, don't walk. Just hold on tight to that coffee. Select styles, some exclusions apply. Coupons and Kohl's Cash do not apply to Sephora. Offers end November 29th. See store or kohls.com for details.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
With Black Friday savings at the Home Depot, you can get up to $1,400 off, plus get free delivery on select appliances like LG, America's most reliable line of appliances. Check out the newest LG refrigerator with new mini craft ice, straight from the dispenser. Shop Black Friday savings on select LG appliances, plus get free delivery now at the Home Depot. Free delivery on appliance purchases of $396 or more. Offer valid 11/5 through 12/3. U.S. only. See store or online for details.
Welcome to Cricket Wireless. Santa?
I've got to get Mrs. Claus a gift or I'm in a whole lot of trouble.
How about a single unlimited line? Only $35, plus a free Moto G 5G.
Dude, you're a lifesaver. Here, take a present.
Says it's for Timmy in Des Moines.
Never heard of him.
Join Cricket Nation and get a single line for $35 per month, plus a free Moto G 5G. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Cricket may temporarily slow data speeds if the network is busy. Requires activation of new line on select unlimited plan or higher. Pay $40 first month. New lines only. First month service charge. Tax due at sale. Fees, terms, and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. See cricketwireless.com for details.
Need help with your electric bill? New Jersey Board of Public Utilities has your back with a variety of programs that you can count on to save money. Whether you rent or own, see how you can save money today. Visit nj.gov/BPU.
Home of the Philadelphia Eagles.
They got him again!
Sixers.
Bang! It's good! Ball game!
And Flyers.
Tipped in front of the net!
97.3 ESPN. WENJ. WENJ HD. Millville, Atlantic City. A Town Square media station serving all of South Jersey.
97.3 ESPN's special Black Friday Birds pregame show, broadcasting live from Sea Isle City's Winter Village, leading you up to Eagles versus Bears here on 97.3 ESPN with host Josh Hennig, live at Excursion Park. 97.3 ESPN's Black Friday Birds pregame show is presented by Heritage Surf and Sport, along with the Sea Isle City Chamber of Commerce. Now broadcasting live from the Winter Village in Sea Isle City, here is Josh Hennig, joined by former NFL players Chris Myers and Dave Klemic.
Yes, we are live here in Sea Isle City, the Birds pregame show. Eagles versus Bears coming up this afternoon on 97.3 ESPN. We will have the game live here on the speakers. Mel Reese, Mike Quick calling all the action here on 97.3 ESPN. As always, streaming live on YouTube and X at Josh Hennig at 97.3 ESPN. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in to our pregame show today. We are live here at the Winter Village in Sea Isle City. It's always a great place to be. Every single year they've been doing this. They've actually only been at Excursion Park for the last few years, but this is a great setup to have at this park. You know, for those who are like me who are old enough to remember, about, I'm going to say 20 years ago, this was just an empty field of shells for like extra parking. But the town actually decided to do something with the lot, and they've really revitalized the area. So it's a great place to be. I have the Christmas tree across from me. Come on down. Get your Christmas shopping started in the heated tent, which is right behind the stage where we are at. We have the Birds Championship trophy to my left of the stage here. Madison and Shelby are signing people up for giveaways. We'll give away Flyers tickets along with gift certificates to Heritage Surf and Sport, as well as a $25 gift certificate to Tropicana restaurants in Atlantic City. And, like I said, you can get a picture with that trophy, Dave.
Yeah, you know what? That's a huge hit. Everywhere we've taken that, it's been a line.
Yes.
When we brought it to Las Calas, there was a line out the door to get a picture with it. And if you do, it's a real Tiffany's trophy. It's you know, I don't want to say how much they cost. I know it's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. Coach Vermeil had one, and he was going to bring it to the wedding. My wedding. He came to my wedding. And I said, you want to bring that trophy? And he's like, I remember my mom shot it down because she was like, no, you don't want attention away from the bride. So that's why we didn't bring it. But it was the one for the 99 Rams.
Wait, does Erica know this?
Yeah, she knows it's not there. She was like, it better not be there. But we had a security guard for it and everything like that.
So which is the bigger flex then? Is it, hi, I'm Dave Klemic, I play for the Kansas City Chiefs, or is the bigger flex, hi, I'm Dave Klemic, Dick Vermeil came to my wedding?
I think the latter. I did a lot of sitting on the bench, buddy. It was
Dick Vermeil came to your wedding. That guy is like royalty in Philadelphia.
Vince Papale was there too, which is really cool. But I know Vince because of Coach Vermeil.
Right,
and then
Coach
I got
Vermeil,
to coach their son, Vinny Papale, who also bounced around the NFL a little bit too.
Yeah, take a minute to plug Klemic Performance Method.
Thank you. Klemic Performance Method, it's basically, we are a diagnostics, an athletic diagnostics and sports performance company where we take your gait or movement analysis in the beginning. We train for 12 weeks, and we see what we produce at the back end on an exit gait analysis. And it just tells us everything about you athletically, where you are. We can quantify how athletic you are by metrics called, EFX scores, and we can tell you what acceleration is. It your jumping ability? Is it your speed at high speeds? Is accelerations, and then we can increase or decrease those times and scores just like you need to. Works like a charm. It's been doing great. I've been doing it for 20 years, and it's not only my vocation, but it's my advocation. So I get to do what I love, and I love what I do.
We have some of the text on the text board coming. I see Ray from EHC and others at 609-403-0973. We'll hear from more of the sponsors here at the Winter Village, some of the great vendors who will be coming up here giving their Eagles pregame picks. We'll hear from Dave Klemic and Nick Earnshaw back to the 97.3 ESPN studio a little bit later this hour for your guys' picks for the show. But I think one of the topics I want to hit on, because we've been talking a lot about the Eagles so far in the show today. Dave, we haven't spent a lot of time talking about the other team. The other team being the Chicago Bears. Now, most people might not know, but the Chicago Bears have the same exact record as the Eagles right now. They're both 8-3 on the year, which, the way we talk about the Eagles, you'd think they were 3-8, not 8-3. But the Bears are 8-3 as well. And I think one of the biggest storylines coming into this game, Dave, about the Bears is the fact that while the Bears are 8-3, they are currently atop the NFC North. they are extremely banged up on defense. 3 of their starting linebackers all out for this game, including former Eagle T.J. Edwards, as well as their starting cornerback Stevenson. Now, they're hopeful to get Jalen Johnson back for this game, but still, when you're without that many players, how does that impact the game plan for a team like the Eagles on a short week? Because you don't forget, this is a short week. They just play on Sunday, Dave, and now they're playing on Friday.
Tremendously. I mean, every single play is going to be aimed at a matchup, right? We're looking at where do we like matchups? Where do you want to, if they have a backup corner, rookie corner, you're going to expose that guy. You want to play right at that player. So, and the defense is going to try to hide him all over the place because they want to protect them. So they're going to do things in that game to protect the linebackers. They're going to drop a safety. They're going to move a safety down to help out because they're like, oh, gosh, we don't have our starters in. Lots of stuff can happen. And then, you know what else can happen? Stars can be born from these situations where a guy loses his starting job because the backup plays so well. You never know. But I know any good coach is going to look at these as matchups that they really, really like. And this is part of the planning of an NFL season. It's a marathon. 17 games now plus the bye. You give 18 weeks plus your preseason. Your guys are going to get banged up. You know what I mean? You hope some of the things you have no control over. But even when they're playing well, you want to kind of rotate guys in so they're not getting so much. They're not getting so banged up. And then your backups are getting work because they need to work. They're going to play eventually. When I was playing, there was only 4 guys on the practice squad. Now there's like 25 guys on the practice. I don't know what the number is, but it's a lot more. And your guys had to play. We were traveling. Like, they don't even travel the practice squad guys now. You would travel. You're there. You'd get ready to suit up. You could be activated last minute up until Friday, I think, for that game. So you never knew. So anyway, the backup thing, I'm going way too far into it, but we're going to absolutely expose.
It's an important part of this storyline of this game because if the Bears are that injured and you're trying to get your offense up and going, it is only averaging 15 points a game since the bye week. They are one of the worst teams in the NFL at scoring in the second half of games. You got to get going against the team in the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears have allowed the 6th most points in the NFL this year. They've also allowed, on average, 262 yards per game against, which is also bottom 5 of the NFL. They've also allowed the 5th most rushing yards against this year. And that was when they were healthy. Now that they're banged up, this feels like this is the game the offense has to get going or else for Philadelphia.
And your linebacker, your middle linebacker is usually the captain of that defense.
T.J. Edwards for the Bears.
When you're anchored by that guy, you're going to go, oh. Now you might have a backup guy as your leader. It doesn't have the same feeling.
Well, no, especially when it's T.J. Edwards and Noah Sewell and Ruben Hypolite. That's 3 guys. So it's like the first guy, the second guy, and the third guy all out. I mean, that if you can't score on the Bears today,
yes, yeah, okay, yeah, you're right,
right.
They should be licking their chops. We're gonna light these guys up. Typically, if it was your defensive backs hurt, we're gonna go hit the secondary. Your linebackers are hurt. Let's go run the ball up the middle. Let's go run the ball right at the middle. You know what I mean? Or honestly, if we don't run Saquon Barkley over 100 yards today, I think we should start. We should start looking at new offensive coordinators today.
Well, Patullo made a weird comment this week, and I purposely didn't grab the audio because I feel like listening to Patullo talk is like nails on a chalkboard at this point. But one of the comments he made was that, we have something special lined up for the run game this week. I don't need special. I just need not you to be stupid. Stop running literally they run him 3, okay, now listen, I didn't play in the NFL, but when I listen to guys like Dave Klemic, when I listen to guys like Brian Balder, when I listen to guys like Dan Orlovsky, Emery Hunt, guys who literally they played the game at a high level, they studied tape at a much higher level than I do, and they say, when I watch the tape, they're running the same run plays. So then I say, okay, I'm going to go watch the All-22 myself, and see what I see, and I see the same things that they're telling me that's happening. I'm seeing that they literally run power gap, ISO power. They keep running in the same 3 plays or counter power every once in a while where they pull the one guard around and he's supposed to follow them into the gap. You keep running the same play again and again. Teams are going to know what's coming. So I don't need something special from you, Kevin Patullo. I need you to stop being a stubborn imbecile and actually go out there and let the offense be creative. Let it open things up. Listen, I know that there are people listening on 97.3 ESPN. There are people here at the Winter Village in Sea Isle City. We all are of an age where either we played football or if you're a certain age, you played Madden football, right? And we all know that when we played football when we were younger, okay, and listen, I only got up to high school, okay? I didn't play that, higher level. But, we had more plays than 3 run plays in our playbook, right? If you play a Madden video game, there's more than 3 run plays in your playbook. So then, Dave Klemic, why on earth does this team keep running the premier running back on the team, the 2,000-yard rusher, the same 3 plays almost every game?
Yeah, I'm going to answer that question with another question.
Okay.
All right. What was the play of the year last year? What was that play? Do you remember what the play was?
The hurdle, the reverse hurdle.
Yes, the greatest play in the NFL that year was where we got the ball to the best running back in the league, right in the flat, right? And then you let it just make a mess of the defensive backs. That's what he does. You get him out. You got to stretch this guy out and let defensive backs be tacklers. They don't want to be. He was hurtling backwards over tacklers, but that's what he does in the open field. If you run him right up the middle, he's very limited there. He's a slasher, so he's going to be able to make these cutbacks and spins. It makes it look easy. But that doesn't happen when you get the ball moving at 0 miles per hour. You have to get him the ball, stretch it, or get him in the flat, and then let him make defensive backs tackle him. They don't, trust me, they do not want that job. It's not as hard as tackling Derrick Henry, but he's more elusive. That's the answer.
I hear what you're saying, but and I know he's not Christian McCaffrey, okay? He's not a guy who can – okay, like, for example, I always used to tell people, Barry Sanders is the only player I've ever seen who could run backwards 20 yards and then run forward 60 yards. Like, he's the only guy I've ever seen do that in my lifetime. The closest guy I've ever seen to do that since is Christian McCaffrey, okay? He can't do it as Barry Sanders, but he's got the ability to make something out of nothing. I don't think Saquon is as talented at that. So he needs the gaps to be plowed for him on the offensive line. Nick back in the studio. Nick Earnshaw is producing on the board side for 97.3 ESPN. Nick, I think you have an interesting question for us back there.
Yeah, we all know my thoughts on Kevin Patullo, all right? I think if we go back to the pie chart, there's a lot of problems with the offense on the Eagles right now. But I think Kevin Patullo is the biggest problem. My question is, where on earth are the RPOs? It is something this team has run over and over and over again over the past few seasons. They've had a lot of success for it, and they have taken a step back from running those RPO option plays. I can't find them, Josh. I don't know where they're at. Where are they, Josh?
Well, I'm going to answer this first because I want Dave to react to my answer. Nick, I hate to tell you, they're there. The problem is that when you rewatch the games, you're seeing Jalen either audible out of those plays or, Dave, you and I were talking about the game on Wednesday when we were working out together about how when you have the guys in shotgun and you're running them out of shotgun, the running back does not have enough time to build up momentum to run downhill. So, Nick, I hate to tell you, they're running the RPOs, but they're not running them very well.
My answer, okay, so my reaction to that is I used to get super frustrated by the RPO because I think playing offense, you play offensively. You just declare what you're doing, and we're going to beat you there. What's our best play? The tush push. They know it's coming. We execute better than they do. So I was frustrated with the RPOs, but I do think that it should be used in situations where you're really kind of confused at what they're going to do. So you're kind of like reacting to it. But honestly, the first half of the game against the Dallas Cowboys, we were lighting them up. I knew they thought we were going to run, and then we were just hitting the long passes, more passes, more passes. That was what they did not expect, right? So we were highly successful. In the second half, we just kind of left that whole thing behind. We're like, we should be passing right now. And this team, honestly, is so talented that we could get away with a lot. You can't get away with – they know every single play that we're doing. So, I think going back to the RPO, as frustrating as it was for me, it should be run a lot because it's the only thing that was actually working at a mediocre level.
But the problem is, again, teams know you run that. So even if you do run it more, they know it's coming. Literally, what's the RPO? I'm either handing the ball off or I'm throwing it. You know, can you sprout some creativity off of that? Of course you can sprout creativity, but it doesn't mean it's actually going to work every single time. So, Nick, my answer to you is I think the RPO is only as good as the people who are executing it. I don't think it's as simple as, hey, just do it more. You know what I'm saying, Nick?
Yeah, and they've run it less this season throughout the year. If you go back, I believe it was like around the Giants game, Lane Johnson was asked about it. He said they haven't been running it as much this year when they lost to the Giants. Not when they beat the Giants, when they lost to the Giants. And that's an issue. Like, it goes back to kind of what Dave's saying, too. It's like they don't have an identity. They're kind of just running things, it feels like. They're just running different types of plays, and they're not executing at a high rate. So there's no identity to this offense. They can't figure out what's going on and what they want to do. And Jalen's even talked about that when he steps up to the podium.
That's a great point, is having an identity. Now, this is another nerdy thing about football, and I'll pose it like a question, so kind of we educate everybody who's hearing this. What happens when you do an RPO? Can the linemen release, or can they be aggressive? No, they have to sit right in, because if you throw the ball, they can't move down the field or it's a penalty. So now your offensive line is doing pass blocking for a potential run. If you run the ball, we're just going to run the ball. And they have to know who they're hitting. They know who who the middle linebacker is, and then it's an organized unit. RPOs, I think right now, at least we could succeed on a mediocre level, and that way, because they're predicting everything that we're doing. So it's time to start being just, all right, fine, we'll just do the thing that frustrates me the most and play offense defensively. At least it'll be on a mediocre, okay, we'll be 15th in the league instead of 25th in the league.
One of the people listening to the show right now, texting in at 609-403-0973. Josh Hennig, along with former Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver Dave Klemic, joining me here at the Winter Village in Sea Isle City. We have a texter who chimed in. He says, Eagles offense from a fan perspective. Bootleg screen is a peewee play. Saquon power every other down. A.J. Brown slant. Devontae Smith deep ball. Tush push. Field goal. Shaner stating the obvious in EHT.
I like this guy. I tell you, we got educated fans here. Just because they're frustrated and they're trying to figure it out. So they start researching a little bit. I love it. Great answer.
We also got a text from Joey D. and Ventnor chiming in. He's got a prediction for the Eagles game. He says, Birds win 29-19. Run game gets it done today. Defense will get 2 turnovers. Happy Thanksgiving, guys. That's from Joey D. and Ventnor.
29-19, 2 nines in there. It's hard to get 2 nines.
I was going to say, is that one of those, like, that's a score that's never happened before?
You got to have a safety or something.
Scoregami?
Yeah, is that scoregami? Is 29-19 a scoregami? I don't know.
Yeah, the number 19 is an odd one. Missed field goal in there. Yeah, it's a weird one.
Josh Hennig along with Dave Klemic live here at the Winter Village in Sea Isle City. Of course, the Winter Village sponsors are presented by Anthony's down in Townsend's Inlet here, as well as Island Breeze Casino, La Finestra, and Amoto restaurants, O'Donnell's Poorhouse, and the Ocean Drive, as long as Shore Break Resorts. We also want to say a special thank you to First Bank of Sea Isle City, Compass Lyrics Real Estate, Henry's Bar at Baracus Cafe, Jeff Billers, Meant to Be Homes, as well as Rafa's in Sea Isle City. Coming up, we'll talk more about the Eagles. Eagles-Bears coming up here on 97.3 ESPN. Come on down to the Winter Village. You can get your picture taken with the Birds Championship Trophy. We are giving away prizes at halftime of the Eagles game, including Flyers tickets, along with Heritage Serpent Sport gift cards, as well as swag we got from our great sponsor, Heritage Serpent Sport, is proud to bring us the Eagles pregame show right here on 97.3 ESPN. So we got a lot going on here at the Winter Village. Come on down, bring your family for a great day. The sun is blasting in my face, but I don't care. It's a beautiful day here in Sea Isle City. Josh Hennig hanging out with you on 97.3 ESPN FM, the 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City, and streaming live on YouTube and X in the Dr. Squatch virtual studio at 97.3 ESPN, at Josh Hennig on YouTube.
Saturday morning in the locker room with Billy Schwein, producer Nick Earnshaw, and former Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver Dave Klemic. Join me in the studio. We'll recap the Eagles-Bears Black Friday action. We'll get the keys to the game with Fox 29 News sports anchor Scott Grayson, brought to you by Blitz's Market of Ocean City. Hour 2, we have our high school athletes in the spotlight with Fran McLaughlin, brought to you by the Philly Pretzel Factory of Egg Harbor Township. Flyers talking more. It's the locker room with Billy Schwein, Saturday morning from 10 a.m. to noon on 97.3 ESPN.
This is your invitation to the BMW Road Home Sales Event, happening now at BMW of Atlantic City, proud sponsor of the Eagles Radio Network on 97.3 ESPN. Score big in the 2025 BMW X330 xDrive with 0.9% APR financing for up to 60 months. The BMW Road Home Sales Event ends December 1st at BMW of Atlantic City. Go Birds! Available from participating BMW dealers to well-qualified customers who meet BMW Financial Services NA LLC credit requirements. Not all will qualify. See dealer for details.
Target's Black Friday deals are delivering big surprises all week long, like 40 to 50% off top holiday gifts, plus thousands more deals in-store and online, all with free shipping. Load up on all the season's must-haves with huge deals on tech, video games, toys, floor care, clothing for the family, and so much more. Hurry! These deals are going fast. 40 to 50% off gifts and Saturday. Only at Target. Free shipping applies to orders over $35.
Bush, the iconic band. One night, all their classics. Featuring songs from their hot new album, I Beat Loneliness, as well as all of the fan favorites. Saturday, December 13th, Ovation Hall in Ocean Casino Resort. Special guest, Soul Asylum. Bush. Tickets on sale now at theoceanac.com. Don't miss Bush. Live.
Are you like everybody else in the world who has no idea what to get everyone for the holidays? Well, you're in luck. We got you. Hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Because with hands-free Skechers slip-ins, you just step into them and they're on. There's no bending down, no touching, no fuss. Plus, Skechers slip-ins come in everyone's favorite styles and colors. And you can get slip-ins everywhere stylish footwear is sold, including a Skechers store. Or if you're too busy to shop in person, just get them online at Skechers.com, Amazon, and more.
The Thanksgiving Savings Rush is on during Happy Honda Days at Boardwalk Honda, proud sponsor of the Eagles Radio Network on 97.3 ESPN. Get the new 2026 Honda HR-V LX all-wheel drive for just $259 a month, or the 2026 Honda Civic LX full-wheel drive for $219 a month. But don't wait to feast on Thanksgiving savings. Offers end November 30th at Boardwalk Honda. Go Birds! 36-month lease, 10,000 miles per year, $29.85 due at signing. Must lease through Honda Financial Services. Excludes tax, title, and dock fee. Not all will qualify. See dealer for details.
If a Lenovo computer for your business is on your holiday list, don't shop around. Just go directly to the source, Lenovo.com. You'll find exclusive deals on the PCs you want for your business, like the ThinkPad X9 14 Aura Edition and Yoga 7i 2-in-1. So avoid all that shopping chaos and price comparing, and just go directly to the source, Lenovo.com, where PCs are up to 50% off. That's Lenovo.com.
Lenovo. The Piccalilli Polar Pavilion is open. Cozy up with heated igloos for 6, s'mores by the fire, and a special menu of fresh-made cocktails and tasty treats you'll only find in the Pines. See the newly renovated main building and gift shop full of Piccalilli presents for under the tree. The original Piccalilli Inn, Route 206, Chemung, New Jersey. Order now at Piccalilli.com.
If you can't stop in, stop back. The Piccalilli Inn.
Progressive knows there are some surprisingly expensive things in life, like rugs. People say a rug would really bring the room together. And sure, you don't know what that means, but it sounds important. Suddenly you're using words like jute and sisal. Then you see the price and lose it, because how can the thing you walk and spill on cost so much? So you devote your life to taking down Big Rug. But then you remember that switching your home and auto to Progressive could save you hundreds. So, looks like Big Rug is safe. For now. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Caesars Sportsbook app is the only sportsbook app with Caesars rewards. Bet on gridiron action and earn perks on every game, like hotel stays, bonus bets, game tickets, and more. Download the app using promo code RADIO20X and place your first bet of $1 or more for a chance to double your winnings on your next 20 bets. Open to new users in New Jersey who are 21 or older. Max bet of $25 for boosted winnings. Max additional winnings $2,500 per bet. Profit boost tokens expire 14 days after receipt. See Caesars.com/promo for full terms. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
You're listening to 97.3 ESPN's Black Friday Birds pregame show, presented by Heritage Surf and Sport, along with the Sea Isle City Chamber of Commerce. Now broadcasting live from Sea Isle City's Winter Village, here's Josh Hennig.
I am Josh Hennig. We are broadcasting live from Seattle City's Winter Village. It's a great day to be out here. We got the people taking. Oh, we got dogs for the Birds Championship Tour. That's even better. I mean, who cares about the people? The dogs with the Eagles uniforms. That's awesome over there.
Hungry dogs
run faster. Good job.
Love
there.
it.
Dave Klemic joining me here on site for the full 2 hours here on 97.3 ESPN. And yes, we are brought to you by Heritage Surf and Sport, as well as the Seattle State Chamber of Commerce. One of the great sponsors of the Winter Village each and every year is Shore Break Resorts, and Chris Clancy is joining us here on 97.3 ESPN. Chris, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you guys for having me. This is a terrific day, and it's a beautiful day, and it's a football day, which is awesome, and it's the holiday season and a lot of people here, so it's great to be here.
Absolutely, and of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, you guys did an amazing job. Short Break Cafe now down in Townsend's Inlet.
Yep. That's at 83rd and Landis and
yep,
Townsend's Inlet.
My great-grandmother, she used to live on 86th Street down there in Townsend's Inlet for years. Back when it was Bush's.
Yes.
Now Anthony's is over there in that complex, which is actually part of Shore Break Resorts, correct?
That's correct. Yeah, I built that building back in 2016, and we have rental units upstairs and an Anthony's downstairs and a great restaurant and a banquet facility, and it's trying to continue that tradition. That Bush's was there for 70 years, from 45 until 2016, so that end of the island is a great end of the island, and we love being a family and a part of it, so it's great to be here.
And people forget, Townsend's Inlet, just to give a quick history for people like Dave Klemic, who has only been to Seattle like 5 times in his life. Townsend's Inlet used to actually be its own town back in the day. Completely different entity from the rest of Seattle. But after the storm of 62, that's when the town started merging together because they all needed each other at that point. So
yeah, Townsend Inlet used to have its own, it still had its own zip code, had its own post office. And then now it's all just part of the city of Seattle City.
Yep.
But it's still its own little community down there, and that little area at 86th Street, 83rd to 86th Street, the business corridor with the Shore Break Cafe and Anthony's. There's a Blitz's Market, Soleil Restaurant, Izzy and Lou's. There's Scoops Ice Cream. Hank's Sauce is there. It's a great little, it's its own little community down there, and it's great.
Yeah, getting a history lesson here. Kind of cool. I liked it. I really like this. It makes you feel like, everybody that's walked by is, is part of this little town because it's not the out-of-towners right now. It's all the people that actually live here.
Yeah, this is the second homeowners. This is the weekend for all the second homeowners because they all come down for the holiday weekend. Funny, a lot of the people come, they all have bigger houses here that are built for entertaining. Yeah. So this is like, hey, you know what? I've got more bedrooms. I've got more space. I'm going to have my Thanksgiving at my beach house because it's built for entertaining. So come on down, and then we do a great event here for the weekend with the parade and the tree lighting and all of the fun stuff we have for families, and it's great to get everybody here for the weekend.
Yeah, speaking of the history, Chris, I was telling Dave that, where we're sitting on the stage here at Excursion Park, you can see 2 of the oldest businesses in Seattle City. One of the sponsors for the Winter Village is Henry's Bar and Brackett's Cafe. That place has been there since, I believe, 1903. And then you got Dalrymple's right over there, right across the street. That's been there from the early 1900s. So you're talking about, we are in a part of town right now that has a ton of history, And by the way, what's next to Brackett's Cafe, that building actually used to be the movie theater.
Correct.
Back in the day.
Right. That was the Brackett movie theater. This Excursion Park is called Excursion Park because this is where the excursion house was.
Right.
This was actually a grandstand that people came and sat on the day and looked out over the water.
Yep.
So, and that got destroyed in the 62 storm as well, but that's why it's called Excursion
Park. Yeah, I was
wondering
what that was.
This was the excursion house.
Typing that into the GPS, and I'm like, dude, Excursion Park?
Right.
What the heck is that? It seems like it should be a mountain, and rock walls and stuff like that.
And just think about it this was the excursion house and all of this. We have the promenade here in front of us. There was another block.
Right.
On the other side of that. Where the beach is now used to be a block.
Yes.
And that's all gone now.
Wow.
The ocean came and took that part
back.
back.
The storm swallowed it.
And didn't that how Longport lost? It starts at 11th Street.
Oh, yeah.
The first street is 11th Street.
Right.
Because Longport used to have the first 10 streets were swallowed up by the same storm.
Yeah.
Right.
So, that 62 storm
changed a lot.
altered a lot out here. But, Chris, this is the Birds pregame show.
Yeah.
Eagles versus Bears coming up here on 97.3 ESPN. Folks can hear Mel Reese, Mike Quick calling all the action on the speakers. We got the Birds Championship trophy over there.
Yes.
Chris, how are you feeling about the Philadelphia Eagles?
I'm nervous. I'm not going to lie. I think this team seems to be. I'm trying to think of how to. I don't want to say schizophrenic, but you don't know what offense you're getting from week to week. Actually, you don't know what offense you're getting from half to half.
Right.
Like you could get. The defense is the only consistent part of this team that plays well every game. And the offense, like you could get a good 20 minutes, a good 30 minutes, a good 40. You just don't know what you're going to get, and that is just inconsistency is not a good thing for a football team. You want to have consistency if you want to be a championship football team, and I think that's probably the biggest problem for me for this year is that inconsistency and what causes it. How do you have
right.
that?
Step 2, we've been talking about it the whole time. What do you think? Do you think it's a upper management? Do you think it's a coordinator? Do you think it's a player? Do you think it's a position?
Who is Chris Glancy blaming for all this?
Listen, I don't want to say I blame anybody, but I think the problem begins and ends with the offensive line not being able to run block. And if you can't, this team last year won the championship because we could run the football. And we can't run the football this year. And if you can't run the football, you're instantly a one-dimensional team. So now the defense can defend you much easier because they're only worried about playing the pass.
And my point earlier was that when we run RPOs, they have to pass block for a running play.
Right.
So you're not getting the proper. They can't leave the cushion of the line of scrimmage. They can't push forward when they can, and we go under center, and we know we're running it. Then you can have, we said, Saquon Barkley gets the ball 10 miles per hour. Right. Can't stop that, especially with linemen that are pushing forward. When they stand up and you're handing him the ball in a draw situation, it's not working for us.
Right. Under center is so much better for the run. We too much shotgun. I agree with that 100%.
And play action pass comes way up.
Yeah.
It comes alive. And you got a mobile quarterback who can run, and that's always an option. I think we go under center the entire game.
I don't disagree with that. And I think if you look at last year, you had a team that was 2-2 searching for an identity.
Yep.
And they said, you know what? We're just going to pound it and run the football. We're going to go under center, and we're going to hand it off. And you went on a run
great defense,
and won the championship. Like, what are we doing? Like, I don't understand. Insanity is just, doing the same thing.
Doing the same thing again and again, expecting a different result.
But do you see the standard that we have in Philadelphia right now? We are so mad that we're 8-3. Like, we're so mad. That's a great standard.
But we're so mad because of the fact that we know they can do better. We know they can play better. They've won half of these games by the skin of their teeth and by the defense. I mean, if the defense didn't save their tail in multiple games this year, they wouldn't have 8 wins.
Yeah,
so a huge part of this conversation is the fact that the offense, and the players have said it themselves, Lane Johnson, A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, everyone keeps saying it. The offense has to step and do a better job. Well, then do a better job.
Right. Yeah, you're the players. You got to block. You got to – and listen, Lane Johnson – the record of Lane Johnson in and out of this team is an amazing statistic of how the loss – we're a losing team when Lane Johnson doesn't play.
15 and 25 when Lane Johnson's not playing.
That's your best player on your team. And that's amazing that it's your right tackle. But he is. The stat tells you that right there.
Well, the man has only allowed 2 sacks in the last 4 years. I mean, it just goes to show you the elite level this dude is playing at. It's absolutely ridiculous. Without that being said, Chris, you got a prediction for the game?
I think we win. I do. We're home. I think this team, it's what they do. They're going to find a way, and they're going to win this game. I think one of the things that's going to help them is that the Bears, being 8-3, but they're also young. So that's a team that's going to make a mistake, and the Eagles will take advantage of it, and we'll win it. That's how we've been winning all year. We've been beating teams that make mistakes, and we don't make mistakes. If we didn't turn the ball over twice last week, we don't lose to Dallas.
Right.
That's really this team's motto. We play good defense, we don't turn the ball over, and then we just wait for you to make a mistake, we capitalize, and we win. And that's how we do it. You've got a young quarterback. You've got a very young team over there. Defense that gives up a lot of yards. I think we're going to win this game.
I did not expect it. We had such an expert on air right here. This guy's awesome. This guy's awesome, dude. Stay right here.
Listen,
Nick.
Well, he's a diehard Eagles fan. I've known that with Chris for a while. So.
Listen, I've been to 2 Super Bowls and we won them both. So I went to Minnesota and New Orleans. So hey.
So next time they go, you have to go
forget
again.
Lane Johnson. They got you.
Listen, I don't play.
He's just a good luck charm. Well, Chris, we appreciate you joining us again, and also your sponsorship. with Shore Break Resorts of the Winter Village each and every year in Sea Isle City. It's always an amazing time, an amazing event, and even though I got the sun blasting in my face, it's a great day to be in Sea Isle City.
Listen, every day is a great day to be in Sea Isle City, and that's what's awesome about it. That's why everybody comes here for this time of year, all times a year. And we just keep one of these wonderful events. And it's great to have you guys here because look at all the excitement. Look at the line for the people just to get their picture with the trophy. I mean, this is great.
Awesome.
I mean, how many chances?
And
I mean, I have a good trophy story if you want to hear about the trophy story.
Do it.
So,
I love a good story.
After the Minnesota victory, we're at the somehow my wife finagles her and I into the after party with the team, and I'm standing there talking to someone, and she disappears.
By the way, knowing Amy, this is not surprising.
Right, it doesn't surprise anybody that knows my wife. I stand there. She disappears for 10 minutes, and I'm like, where were you? She's like, oh, I just went and got a picture. And I turned around, and it's a picture of Amy, Big Dom, and the trophy. I'm like, how do you get a picture of you with the trophy and Big Dom? And I'm like,
some people just have it. Some people just know how to. My uncle Mike, once we were in this is when I was playing for Kansas City. I'm in there. No one's allowed. These are closed practices, no media. Every now and then they let the color commentator guy come in, and he would interview you kind of on the field. I had a catch with Joe Theismann on the. Well, you'd see the color guy come in every now. Anyway, no one's allowed on this field, and my uncle Mike, he's just a guy that knows how to get things done, and I'm pretty sure it has something to do with money. But I'm just standing there at practice, and I'm lined up, and I see somebody with his arm around Coach Vermeil, and it's my Uncle Mike, and I'm like. How did you get in here? I've never seen anybody
Really
here.
quick, Chris, I don't know if you heard earlier because I was asking Dave, what is the bigger flex? That he can say, hey, I'm Dave Klemic, former Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver, or is the bigger flex, hi, I'm Dave Klemic, Dick Vermeil was at my wedding?
No, in Philadelphia, it's Dick Vermeil was at your wedding.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I mean, no one really cares about you. Sorry, no one cares about you playing for Kansas City, but Dick Vermeil was at your wedding.
Trust me, the reason why I'm sitting in this chair right now is because I have great Coach Vermeil stories, not because of my illustrious career in Kansas City. I got good Vermeil stories.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, listen, Chris,
He's a
we
legend.
appreciate you jumping up with us.
No, you're welcome.
Great stuff with the Winter Village each and every year, and go Birds.
Yeah, man. Go Birds. Thanks for having me, and this is great.
Josh Hennig along with Dave Klemic here on 97.3 ESPN. And, of course, Shore Break Resorts is one of the great sponsors, along with Sea Isle Times, the Shore team of Long and Foster, Thomas Beckhold, Architecture and Engineering, Tortuga Men's Store, and the Yacht Club of Sea Isle City are all some of the great event sponsors for the Winter Village here in Sea Isle City. We are going to give our predictions on the other side. Me and Dave Klemic, along with Nick Earnshaw, back in the studio. We'll probably hear from one or two more of the vendors here at the Winter Village in Sea Isle City. Come on down, get your picture with the Birds Championship Trophy. If you're wondering where the trophy is, you don't see the 97.3 tent to the side of the stage here. Well, you can just see the line of people lined up to get the picture with the trophy. Also, don't forget you can sign up for giving away prizes at halftime of the Eagles game with Flyers tickets, along with swag from Heritage Surf and Sport, as well as gift cards to Tropicana Atlantic City and Heritage Surf and Sports. We've got tons of great prizes we're giving away here. Winter Village, Sea Isle City, JFK Boulevard, Excursion Park. It's a beautiful day in Sea Isle City. Put on an extra layer of clothes. Come on out and get your Christmas shopping started at the great vendors in the heated tent. You know, you can get your coffee. I know you went to Salty Acres right over here, Dave Klemic. I went to Raffas in Sea Isle City right across the street. So plenty of great opportunities for you to come out, bring down the family here in Sea Isle City, Winter Village. Josh Hennig, Dave Klemic hanging out with you on 97.3 ESPN FM, the 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City, and streaming live on YouTube and X at Josh Hennig at 97.3 ESPN.
This is the radio home for Philadelphia Eagles football. The Eagles continue the 2025 season later today, hosting the Chicago Bears.
Love what this defense is doing to the Bears offense. The defense for the Eagles, they're all over them.
Pregame coverage starts at 2 p.m. with Merrill Reese and Mike Quick calling all the action starting at 3 p.m. This is where the Eagles play. 97.3 ESPN, South Jersey's Eagles station.
It's the boldest Black Friday super sale ever, only at Matt Black Kia. For a limited time, get up to $10,000 back in cash, or apply to your deal and make no payments for 90 days on select new Kias. Prefer to lease? How about a 2026 Kia Sportage LX all-wheel drive? Just $159 a month with $39.99 down for 24 months. That's right, up to $10,000 cash back, or a lease for just $159 a month. And if you have a job clearing $450 a week, we want to get you approved today. Visit mattblackkia.com before it's too late. It's gotta be a Matt Black Kia. Call 215-703-8526 for details.
With Black Friday savings at the Home Depot, you can get up to $1,400 off, plus get free delivery on select innovative appliances like GE Profile. Add a touch of ease to your holiday with the all-in-one combo to wash and dry your laundry in one machine. And refrigerators with built-in convenient features like the dual dispense autofill water pitcher. Shop Black Friday savings on select GE Profile appliances, plus get free delivery now at the Home Depot. Free delivery on appliance purchases of $396 or more. Offer valid 11/5 through 12/3. U.S. only. See store or online for details.
Imagine being the wizard of your own home. With Xfinity, intelligent self-healing Wi-Fi fixes problems like magic. It boostifies speeds to your devices when you need it most, and makes your favorite Wicked content sparklify on every screen. All while a spell of protection helps keep your family safe online. When you're out in Oz, Xfinity Mobile joins Wi-Fi and 5G to keep your phone connected from here to the Emerald City. If you had the most intelligent Wi-Fi from Xfinity, everything would work together for good. And now you can cast a spell to stop time and keep your internet bill steady for 5 whole years. With the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. No contracts or commitments, with amazifying equipment included. Xfinity, imagine that. And see Wicked for good, only in theaters November 21st. Restrictions apply. Select plans only. Xfinity Mobile requires Xfinity Internet.
Kohl's Black Friday deals are here. Grab your coffee and put on your sneakers because it's go time. Through Saturday, save up to 50% on everything from toys to beauty faves, winter styles, and more. Plus, earn $15 Kohl's Cash for every $50 spent. Yep, that's extra Kohl's Cash. So run, don't walk. Just hold on tight to that coffee. Select styles, some exclusions apply. Coupons and Kohl's Cash do not apply to Sephora. Offers end November 29th. See store or kohls.com for details.
This is your invitation to the BMW Road Home Sales Event, happening now at BMW of Atlantic City, proud sponsor of the Eagles Radio Network on 97.3 ESPN. Score big in the 2025 BMW X330 X-Drive with 0.9% APR financing for up to 60 months. The BMW Road Home Sales Event ends December 1st at BMW of Atlantic City. Go Birds! Available from participating BMW dealers to well-qualified customers who meet BMW Financial Services NA LLC credit requirements. Not all will qualify. See dealer for details.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Go for holiday bliss. Whether naughty or nice, you are not going to want to miss this. Go for nights that shine with friends, a toast so fine. Go to find Santa's place. Go to see that smiling face. Go to give the gift of cheer with the card that brings dreams near. With endless fun and things to do, it is the gift that keeps on giving too. Go for the dazzling lights. It's quite a sight. Go to Ocean Casino Resort for holiday magic of every sort.
You're listening to 97.3 ESPN's Black Friday Birds pregame show, presented by Heritage Surf and Sport, along with the Sea Isle City Chamber of Commerce. Now broadcasting live from Sea Isle City's Winter Village, here's Josh Hennig.
Josh Hennig back here at the Winter Village in Sea Isle City, hanging out with everybody. Beautiful day here in Sea Isle City for the Winter Village. We got a line over here. People take a picture of the Birds Championship Trophy. By the way, you can get Eagle ready for the game. They're painting little eagles for the kids. A little face painting for the Eagles over here to my right. To my left is the stand with the Birds Championship Trophy. And you can sign up for Flyers tickets, Heritage Surf and Sports swag, gift cards, and more. We'll give away halftime of the Eagles game. We will have the Eagles on the speakers here at Excursion Park, Mel Reese, Mike Quick calling all the action here in your home for Eagles football in South Jersey, 97.3 ESPN. And one of the great businesses sponsoring the Winter Village today is right across the street from Excursion Park. Rafa's here in Seattle City, and we have Vanessa joining us. Vanessa, how's it going?
It's going great. Love it. I love this event.
I know you have been busy over there. It's my fault you ran out of coffee at one point, so we appreciate you having to restock up over there. Tell folks a little bit about Rafa's.
So we are Rafa's Charcuterie and Fine Foods. We do grab-and-go charcuterie year-round. We are right now also doing a lot of specialty coffees like chais and lattes, and folks are in and out all day with that.
Now, you mentioned with everything, what would you say is like the best-selling drink of all those that you've been doing so far?
This week is the gingerbread latte.
Okay.
It's delicious.
Dave, is that something you would drink, a gingerbread latte?
It's a little bit like kind of. I need a little bit more like a lot of espresso on stuff, right? You got that too? Okay. Well then, yes, that sounds like a great drink, and I'll probably stop by on the way out.
Yeah, please do. I think this is going to be a fun week, and it's getting a little chilly, so we'll be open all night, ready for people to come in.
And, of course, you'll be all open tomorrow as well. The Available Villages today and tomorrow here in CLC. So if folks can't make it out today for any reason, maybe you're on your way to the Eagles game. I don't know. But, you can still come down to CLC tomorrow. Raf is literally, I can see it right from where I'm sitting here on the stage at Excursion Park. But because of the Eagles, I got to ask you, Vanessa.
Okay.
What do you think is going to happen with the Eagles game today?
I actually think we're going to beat them. I know this is a tough call, but I think their defense is down, and I think the Eagles are really looking for a win, especially after seeing what Dallas did last night. We got to get this win in.
So what's your final score prediction?
Oh, gosh.
She says, oh, gosh.
I'm going to go with like a 26-21.
26-21. Okay, so we really only had two people think it was going to be a blowout.
No
so
way.
Everyone else thinks it's pretty good. It could be a close game.
And low scoring.
And, well, listen, we had, what's his name? He said 17-10.
Wow.
Earlier, so
yes.
Eric from Edward Jones Investment. Yeah. See, Brian Heritage thinks it's going to be a blowout. So.
Okay. I'll take it, whatever we can get.
Exactly. Well, Vanessa, I know you're busy over there at Rafa's. We appreciate you coming over. The coffee has been amazing today. Thank you so much, and keep up the great work.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Josh Hennig along with Dave Klemic here on 97.3 ESPN. As we have the Eagles pregame show here. Of course, we will go to the Eagles radio network coming up a little bit later this hour. No, next hour, I should say. We'll head up to Philadelphia for the Eagles game right here on 97.3 ESPN. Dave, before we get any picks in, a couple more points we want to hit on. First of all, I want to so a little news. For those who didn't hear, but Malcolm Jenkins is being put into the Eagles Hall of Fame today. So what are your thoughts on Malcolm Jenkins, the former Bird, going into the Eagles Hall of Fame?
Yeah, well deserved. I was upset when he went to the Saints right after us because I was like, I just want him to retire.
Well, he was a Saint before he came here. So.
Yeah, but like you always want to keep your players your best that stay. Like it doesn't happen that often. Even Tom Brady at the end of his career went to Tampa. But you got to, by the time you're at the back end of your career, usually you're a journeyman. And so anyway, I think Malcolm Jenkins was unbelievable. He was one of the most solid players that we had. He was just like, you knew we had a great position there. And I'm like, many times when I have a guy, like there's a guy that anchors the defense, he was one of them, right? Like a Dawkins, Brandon Graham. You go all the way back to Reggie White. These guys that just anchor the defense, they become leaders, whether they were verbal leaders or just action leaders on the field. They were great to be around, and the defense rallies around players like that. Well deserved. Well deserved.
By the way, aside from giving away the Flyers tickets, along with the swag from Heritage Surface Sports, you can sign up over there at the 97.3 ESPN 10 here. We also have footballs we can give away to people thanks to Island Breeze Casino. We also want to thank some of the other great sponsors here at the Winter Village today here in CLC, like Birdcage over here on Pleasure Avenue, Christopher Williamson of Gold Coast, South Beach International Realty, the Italian American Club, Mike Malinsky of Fox Rothschild Law, as well as MJ Builders and Shore Title. course, the Santa Sleigh Selfie Station being brought to you by Frieda Real Estate. The Gingerbread Bounce House being brought to you by the Sea Isle City School Board. Santa's visit coming to town is brought to you by Groovy Girls. The face painting to my right is being brought to you by Dalrymple's Card and Gift Shop. And, of course, the axe throwing will be brought to you by the Coastal Chop House. So we've got a lot going on here at the Winter Village in Sea Isle City. Nick Earnshaw back in the studio. You are going to be the first one of the three of us who's going to give out a prediction. So you can pop on your mic there. Tell us how you're feeling about the Eagles when Mel Reese and Mike Quick start calling all the action coming up in about an hour and a half from now.
Yeah, it's going to be a cold one up at the Link today for sure. A lot of wind, but I think the Eagles are going to find a way in this ball game, and the key reason is the Bears defense is missing a lot of linebackers today, right?
They're three starting linebackers.
Yeah. So
three.
I think that's a big key for them. And defensively, they're going to give up some points. I think the Eagles find a way to get Saquon Barkley involved, whether it's the run game or getting him involved in the passing and screen game. He's going to have a big day. I'm going Eagles 27-17 today. I think the offensive line plays much better than they have in the past. They get a little bit more of a push. Saquon has a big day. 27-17 Birds.
By the way, to the chagrin of PG, A.J. Dillon is inactive again. So
there it is. Yeah, this is his favorite player. Give Tank the ball, too, by the way.
Right. Yeah, well, listen, that's an interesting question you brought up, Nick, which is, a lot of people are saying we need to run the ball more with Tank Bigsby. That's the key. Dave, I'll ask you, is running with Tank Bigsby the answer, or is it letting Saquon run off tackle the answer?
I think Saquon running off tackle, but having Tank Bigsby in there automatically, you're like, okay, we're going to pass this play. And then they run, and he always picks up 8. He's done great, but they're giving him the ball in a very unpredictable situation. That is when that's what they should be doing, is something like that. But, yes, running off tackle, getting him the ball, getting Saquon Barkley the ball in the flat, that's the key to me in this game.
I just keep going back to I want to see a little more variety from the star players. Like, Sheener and EHC texted in earlier about, like, A.J. Brown on the same. By the way, we forgot to mention earlier in the show, but we did get the good news yesterday. Devontae Smith is playing in the game. He was nursing a shoulder issue throughout the week, but he is playing today. And I almost asked the question, Dave, Devontae's been the most productive receiver for you this year in terms of receptions, yards after the catch, et cetera, et cetera. But is it maybe time to say, hey, Devontae, you be the decoy to get other people involved?
Good. That's a good point. Yeah. I think that just Devontae Smith's route tree, he has more of the route tree that he can run. A.J. Brown's a limited route tree. And when there's a certain situation, it's useful. Those in-breaking routes, those corners, no comebacks. They're not afraid of him having a back shoulder fade or anything like that. He can't stop. I've said this for weeks and weeks. I think he's nursing some kind of injury that won't allow him to pull himself to a stop, making him predictable. But I do think that that's a really good point that now he's the main guy, just like George Pickens is the main guy now in the Cowboys.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like Devontae Smith's our main guy. Yes, I think you're looking at decoy situations in the opposite direction.
By the way, before I forget, I did want to mention before Dave, Klemic, and I give our final game predictions. Mike's Seafood over here, of course, they are one of the vendors here. They got a gift certificate sale going on. But I don't want to overlook the Mike's Seafood Polar Bear Run Walk for Autism. It's going to be this year, Valentine's Day weekend in 2026. Of course, it's a great event. They raise money for the Mike's Seafood Run Walk for Autism every single year. It's right here at Excursion Park is what the sign-up is. So coming up in a few months, that is a great event here in Sea Isle City. But again, it will be Valentine's Day weekend. You can sign up at Mike's Seafood Polar Bear Run Walk for Autism.com. Of course, you can follow them on social media for more information. Listen, any day you can help children with disabilities, it is a good day. So shout out to Mike Seafood and everybody over there from us here at 97.3 ESPN. All right, Dave Klemic. I've waited long enough. I need to know your prediction for the game today.
Nick almost had it perfect. I'm going to go in 24-17 Eagles. Nick said 27-17, and I had 24 in my mind, probably because that's about what they're scoring anyway
right.
Throughout the entire year. But I think and they're not going to play that great on offense.
Right.
But I think we got to try to run the ball, establish some kind of personality, some kind of identity. It has to happen now, or else it's going to we're going to struggle in the playoff run. I think we're going to be a playoff team, but we got to get that identity together before we. I'm thinking long term already. So,
but the thing is, if they don't find their identity soon, they're not making a deep playoff run because someone's going to have. I mean, you know this better than anyone, Dave. Game planning in the postseason is different than the regular season. Because the regular season, you're going with the ebb and flow of the season. But when you literally have 1 week and your only focus is on the team you're playing that weekend, it's a different vibe.
Yeah, everything, all shots are, everything you're trying to do, you're not holding back at all. Sometimes you have these trick plays that you're holding on to for big situations where you need it. Oh, everything, all stops come out for the playoff game. So you're right. But remember last year, we actually did. Saquon Barkley improved during the playoffs. He did really well in the playoffs last year. So,
all right. Well, my prediction for the Eagles game today, of course, you can hear Mel Reese, Mike Quick calling all the action here on your home for Eagles football in South Jersey, 97.3 ESPN. We'll have the game on the speakers here at Excursion Park here in Sea Isle City. I got the Eagles winning 24-13. I think the Bears are going to have some trouble today. I think the Eagles' defense is going to come out and blast them. I think Jalen Carter, Jalen Phillips, those guys are playing at a high level right now. I think the offense will score just enough to get the job done. I don't know if it's going to be a big blowout scoring game, but I think Philadelphia does get some points just because they're playing a Bears team that is so banged up. They're so injured. Before we get out of here, I want to thank Heritage Serpent Sport for sponsoring us here for our Eagles pregame show on 97.3 ESPN. And, of course, we have the Birds Championship Trophy. It will still be here up until halftime of the Eagles game. People can come take pictures with it. We will also be giving away at halftime the Flyers tickets along with Heritage Serpent Sports swag, along with gift cards for Heritage Serpent Sport, as well as a Tropicana $25 gift certificate for one of the restaurants up in Atlantic City. Also, thank the Seattle City Chamber of Commerce for helping us be out here. Shout out to Chris and Mike for helping me with the setup here on the stage at Excursion Park. Also, our Winter Village sponsors, Anthony's Restaurant down in Townsend's Inlet, Island Breeze Casino, La Finestra, and Mona Mio Restaurants, O'Donnell's Poorhouse and the famous Ocean Drive, along with Shore Break Resorts. Josh Hennig, Dave Klemic, thank you for tuning in to 97.3 ESPN's Special Birds pregame show live from the Winter Village in Sea Isle City. We will be here the rest of the afternoon. People come and get pictures with the Birds Championship Trophy and with a halftime giveaway. Winter Village will be open tomorrow as well here in Sea Isle City. Have a great day, everybody. Go Birds! Hey, this is Josh Hennig, inviting you to join me this Saturday for Hanging with Hennig, 12 to 3 p.m. on 97.3 ESPN. We will